Hello everyone. Been a little late getting my videos out. Caught a case of the bronchitis. Was extremely sick for quite a while. But this is a little collage of three different little jobs I took care of. The gentleman here had a outbuilding in a trailer park that the people that park management was giving him grief about the look of his building. And he contacted me. Of course, he's on fixed income, so money was tight. And I tried to help all those people out the best I could. So this particular building, I give it the best facelift that I could give it under the conditions. The the old building just rough shape, but I ended up squaring it back up. As you can see, started and remade these doors, and pretty well kept him happy and kept the park management happy. It ended up using pine, which, probably should have been cedar, but then again, it's like the gentleman that lived there told me. He said the building will more than outlast him, and that was all he cared about. And of course, I shouldn't laugh because I'm getting to be no spring chicken myself. But as you can see, give it a facelift so it come out looking pretty good. And uh, people that have worked hard all their life just kind of amaze you. I come in there and quoted him rock bottom. Well, gave away quite a bit of my time, but then when I did end up giving him the bill, he was so happy he wanted to give me a $50 tip. You know, I don't know what you're supposed to do, so I guess he was satisfied, so I was satisfied, park management was satisfied, and it came out looking fairly decent. Looks real good if you're, how's it go? Looks good driving by at 50 mile an hour. So I guess that was the part that counted. Now the next building, similar circumstance, same park, same dragon lady that operates it. This thing, it looks like T111, but it's actually a plastic kind of on particle board. And I had actually grabbed T111 siding to make the doors, so the doors on this building will outlast the building. I had, it was like the last building and this one. I had taken color match to Menards and had them match the paint, but the paint on this building was spot on perfect. On the other building, the match was off quite a little bit, where on this particular building, the trim match and the paint match were just spot on perfect. But this job, the I don't know who had trimmed it before, but it was never properly trimmed, so I ended up cutting which looks like little chevron pieces to fill the gaps and to match in the corners. And I pressure wash everything before I start, so it's fairly well clean. And then whatever you decide to paint, you can paint. Use that good mildew style removing cleaner. But this sets back along clear at the back end of her double wide and carted material back, and pretty well got it straightened up. And the neighbor fella, he was a very nice guy, but you couldn't hardly get much done. I mean, it was one of them you don't want to ignore people, but you can't stand to listen all day long either. But yeah, this one here, it trimmed out real well, and along the one edge, yeah, as you can see there at the back had a little problem, and so I ended up, and I didn't get picture of that, but I cut in a angle brace across there. But yeah, this building trimmed out real well. Yeah, it's another one that looks good from a distance. Oh, I shouldn't say that. It came out rather well, but it, well, the woman here, she had actually got the property sold, so it was another one. She just wanted to put enough into it to make it look nice and give the people that were taking it over a halfway decent building. So that's pretty well what went on here. It oh, ended up looking real good, but these kind of jobs when you're doing it for well, I'm not the richest guy in the world either, but I try to help those less fortunate than myself. Now this is the start of hunting materials for the people that had the brick tutor that I worked on before. They wanted a chain link fence gate put in with the other chain link fence that had been added, and the opening to the area, well, and to keep their dog in, was 12 feet 8 inches wide. And of course, they wanted the gate to fit the opening. They didn't want to cut the opening back whatsoever. So in turn, I spent quite a bit of time between Lowe's and Menards looking for different fasteners, and that prior what is it, preparatory or prioritory hardware, whatever the proper term is, they they want to think that stuff's gold. But as we get further along here, I pretty well got it laid out, and from the leftover from the earlier chain link fence, which I should have probably, I didn't get any video of that, but I ended up building this gate frame, and then the chain link for the other was 6 feet, and I ended up cutting it down for this 5 foot opening or 5 foot high gate, and came up with enough fasteners to get it all drawn together. And then I also ran a cable from the top corner of the hinge side down to the bottom of the other side, so that we didn't have to worry about it sagging, or if it done, there's a turnbuckle in there to just tighten it up a little bit. But the area there at the corner of the gate, there was a small opening there, and wouldn't you know, that big dog could slip through that opening, so I ended up weaving a chunk of chain link in between that area. And I did get the proper gate latch and all that on this particular unit. It all ended up looking pretty good. Yeah, there's the little wired in section, about 3 wires wide, but it came out pretty good considering an older house and all that wrought iron, and I blended one right together with the other, so it pretty well looks like it had been made. Well, it was made for that spot, but I'm saying it looked like it was planned to be in that spot. The hardest problem was color, to find that black coated. They had bits and pieces of it, so I ended up just getting the galvanized, then buying that better galvanized style paint and priming and painting it all black. So somewhere along the line here, we get farther into this, it ends up looking pretty good. But yeah, these videos were taken quite a while back, and I've been doing some other work, and I'm actually working with a little video camera, but I'm not very good at being in front of the camera or talking. But I will try to make more videos as time goes on. I've done a couple little bathroom jobs since this actually took place. Well, thank you for watching. God bless. Enjoy.